Hello, hello, hello. How are you doing? This is Yolanda Hinton with FYI After Dark. I'm here with co-host Edward Everett, aka Mr. E. Mr. E, how you doing this
And
evening?
I want to say a pleasant good afternoon to you and all, and to our great neighbors. Merry Christmas to you. We're in that Yuletide season, and I want to say hello, 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 and thank you so much for tuning in to the most talked about show in the whole wide world. That's FYI After Dark and FYI Radio Show in the AM.
After Dark and FYI Radio Morning Show. Mr. E, tell them a little bit about that show we host in the morning.
Well, we have 3 days, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, that we'll host. On Monday, sports talk from 9:30 to 10. And then on Wednesday, issues concerning men, what's underneath the hat. And then on Friday, what's in your closet, issues concerning women. And we also talk about great safety tips, and we talk about politics, and we also talk about what's happening around the 757, the 252, and all over the world. We even talk about mental illness. We got great views. We're talking about border control. You name it, we got it coming to you on FYI Radio Show in the AM and in the PM on Mondays only PM.
All right, so let's welcome our platform. First of all, Facebook Live, Twitter, LinkedIn, and YouTube. All you all that are on, make sure you like, share, comment, and subscribe. We'll shout you out. We promise.
That's
So
right.
again, we host FYI Radio Morning Show Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays at 9:30 a.m. And we're on Monday evenings at 6 p.m. with FYI After Dark. We bring you all kind of content, special guests, all kind of talent, topics, you name it. We do it, and we have such a fabulous, fabulous time. We are actually celebrating 8 years of FYI Radio Morning Show. We're pleased and proud to be able to have that platform to reach you all and to bring you great content, to also inspire, encourage, and uplift you all to rise above mere survival and find success.
You
So
know,
we're bringing all kind of content for you all to rise above.
Miss Hinton, want to let our listening audience know not only are we on radio, we're on four radio stations: WPCE 1400, WGPL 1350, Peace 95.3 FM, and WMVA Joy 88.9. And all the social media platforms via of the internet, the worldwide net, we are there. We are heard all over the world. And so that's what it's all about, bringing you nothing but the very best. These 8 years has been very easy for us, Ms. Hinton, I must say, because we had great contents and great information that we want to give our community. It's one thing to have great contents and one thing to have information, but it's a drive. There's a drive behind Ms. Hinton and Ed Everett, because we want to make sure that you have the very best in the 757, in the 252, and all over the globe.
Absolutely. I want to also welcome our sponsors. Let's go with Beard Gods first.
Yeah.
You all can check out Beard Gods at www.beardgods.com. That's BeardGodz.com. Check out Mr. Chris Hinton, his products for men, shampoos, conditioners, balms, oils, all kind of vitamins and picks and things, combs and hoodies and hats, all kind of things that can help you understand more how to groom yourselves, how to keep yourselves up, how to grow a beard, how to maintain it, and just make yourself look very, very, very special. This is a wonderful time to give a gift during the holiday. from Beard Gods. So make sure you go over and check him out on Facebook, on Instagram, and on the website www.beardgods.com. You can order from the website, and you can get information and knowledge of what to do to keep yourself up, looking good, and especially during the holiday time.
That's right. That's right. And that's what you want to do. You want to make it your business. Go and see Mr. Chris Hinton for Beer Gods. Yeah.
Okay, let's also not forget Bulvic. Make sure you all go over to bulvicacademy.com, BULVIC. You're going to find anti bullying information. You're going to find out about books that's going to help your kids and family understand what bullying is, why people bully, some of the things that you can do to prevent it and or deal with it. We have a lot of information there. We have more to come. But you can go and get the books. Bullying is right underneath your nose. The Diary of a Former Bully. These books are in Spanish, English, Audible, ebook, hard copy, soft copy, and you can get them right on the site, or you can go wherever books are sold. Also, don't forget to check out the game app Bulvic, BULVIC, which you can find on Google Play if you have Android, and you can go to apple.com for your iPhone and iPad. Make sure you get it for the family. This is the best time in the whole wide world to share this game with your kids. Buy it, show them how to really be creative, how to even read, how to understand what bullying is, how to discover emotions and things that they feel and want to express. They can communicate with students in this game. They can go into the school. They can find and discover certain items in the game. You can beat the time. Mr. East still trying to figure it out.
Well,
it is not
and that's one of the greatest things in the whole wide world, is to try to figure out, I mean, how it's done. And it's not for the faint of heart. It's not just a game. It's just not buttons. It's reading. It's getting clarity. It's understanding. It's follow the instructions. That's what it'll help your children to follow the instructions and to do what is right. That's what it's all about. Following the instructions, and then you read more, and then you get an opportunity to understand what's going on in the game, and you can practice those things.
Absolutely. So we're so glad to be able to share the website with you all, www.bulvicacademy, BULVIC academy.com. Check it out. Check out the information. You can actually reach us through Bulvic Academy, gmail.com, BULVIC Academy at gmail.com. If you have any questions, go on the site, and also visit us on Facebook. We are there as well, Bulvic Academy LLC, and see some of the things that we're doing. We will continue to update and post and share, some of the comments and critiques about the game and some other things real soon. So make sure you check us out. Bullying is Right Underneath Your Nose is the book, The Diary of a Former Bully. You also have Bulvic, the game app, and much, much more is coming. So we want to just send you over there, www.bulvicacademy.com. Check us out. Also, man, come on, y'all. Get ready.
Yummy
for
my tummy.
The Royal Ladies Pie. Oh, my goodness. So it's that time, holiday season. People love their pies. But one thing about this pie, you can get it anytime. You can get it for special occasions, special events, Sunday meals, holidays. Whenever you feel like you want a really good pie, you all can sit back and enjoy. Just reach out to us. You can inbox us, or you can call 757-470-0224, or the Royal Ladies Pie at gmail.com. That's ROYALLADYS, the Royal Ladies Pie at gmail.com. Check us out. Give us a call and bless us as we bless you all. Also, I do not want to forget the Young Women Achieving Success Program. We're recruiting. Recruitment will probably end by January. But Crystal Community Development Corporation's Young Women Achieving Success Program. You all right, Miss D?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. Anyway, this I'm just wondering. Okay. So anyway, Young Women Achieving Success. Y'all check out the Young Women Achieving Success Program and girls 10 to 17 years old. Just inbox me or just email Crystal Community, Cristo Community at cox.net or call 757-287-6792. If you want some beautiful music, check out crystalrecords.com, Cristo, crystalrecords.com, and check out music. Got new music coming, but you all can download music as well. So, Mr. E, we are here. We're not going to be long, but we just wanted to make sure we shout out our friends, shout out those that following us, our fans.
That's right. That's right.
Relatives and everybody. We just want to say hello. Are you all ready for the Yuletide gay? I know, Mr. E, you about ready, right?
Well, I'm still working. I still got to knock down some of the major stores. But as far as putting up decoration, I'm done. Besides for one thing. But I still has to go to the major stores and collect. Today is only the 11th, so I have a few more days before Saint Nick decides to come down to the chimney. I got about 18 grandchildren, so I'm going to the dollar store and buy 18 presents for.
You gotta go to Ollie's.
Well, Ollie is the place. I want everybody to know Ollie is the place. They got one of the greatest slogans. Your cheap Ollie's, cheap something.
We said the slogan is something about cheap.
Yeah, cheap.
Oh my goodness! But anyway, well, look, we're all getting ready, geared up. What we haven't done, we won't do probably because we're getting closer and closer and closer. I think I'm 99% finished what I have to do, and I'm glad about it. Now I can move on to the shopping. What was that?
Okay. I was wondering, have you got presents under the tree and got the sleigh on top of the house?
The shopping is definitely that's what I really love about Christmas, shopping for other people, and it's gonna be fun. So yeah, I'm geared up and ready.
Have you got the chimney straight? So that Saint Nick can come down the chimney.
He can come down there if he wants to. I may turn it on this year.
You ain't gonna hurt Santa Claus.
Santa Claus. I tell you what. One thing we have not talked about yet, and I'm hoping that we'll get a chance to during this Yuletide season, and we'll talk about Kwanzaa. Yeah. A lot of people are into Kwanzaa. We need to better understand what that holiday is. Maybe we can have someone to come on and just talk a little bit about what it is and why they celebrate Kwanzaa. As a matter of fact, I think my niece and my nephew are really, really into it. And hopefully maybe I can get them to talk to us one evening and tell us what it is, what Kwanzaa is all about, and why we should kind of celebrate that as well.
That's right. That's what it's all about, defining and understanding what Kwanzaa is, So when we find out what Kwanzaa is, then we have a better understanding.
Absolutely. So, Mr. E, our topic today, we're just going to recap, actually, our topic we had on Friday. And that topic was lonely during the holidays. Now we address ladies, but I think we should address everybody because women are not the only ones that get lonely during the time.
That's right.
Mr. E, what is loneliness from your point of view?
When we define the word loneliness, we find that means being alone. That means being separated. When we define loneliness, it's one of the strangest words. It means depression. It means depressed. It means sad. And and I can give you a better term on it in just 60 seconds. When we define the loneliness, when we look up and define loneliness, we find that loneliness simply means that we are depressed. We define how do we define loneliness? Loneliness is a state of distress or discomfort that results when one perceives a gap between one's desires for social connection and actually experience. Even some people who are surrounded by others throughout the days are in a long time, long lasting marriage still experience deep and pervasive loneliness. It's a problem. Some people describe loneliness as a feeling
Mm-hmm.
we have when we in need for social contact and relationship isn't met.
Wow. I tell you what, it's a sad feeling. Loneliness is not a really good feeling at all. It is, like you're saying, isolation. It is a feeling of not having friends or not having someone to communicate with and relate to, or, someone to be there, someone that has your back.
That's right.
And,
That's right.
some people find themselves lonely for a lot of reasons. Sometimes it is a result of not being able to be with that person anymore. Maybe that loved one, that mom or that dad have died, or maybe a child has died. Maybe there was a breakup, or maybe you're overseas in another country fighting a war, in the military. There's so many reasons people are lonely. Maybe people are keeping them, from interacting as, friends, or being sociable. Maybe people are keeping you out of the loop or keeping you out of a certain circle. And sometimes you find yourself, with nothing to do. Some
That's
people
right. That's
retire,
right.
they get lonely. Some people find, that they can't get out like they used to. Sometimes fear can be a factor, worry, and they begin to isolate. Sometimes people have problems, Mr. E, and
That's
they
right.
just back up off of people, and they become lonely because they don't want to share. They have a fear of sharing what's going on in their lives. And so they take themselves away. They put themselves in a bubble closet and they hide. And that could be the reason they're lonely.
And Miss Hinton, when we look at loneliness, we find that it can be contagious too. It
Mm.
it runs on and run on and on and on. If you had let's say you had a boyfriend girlfriend and y'all broke up, that's loneliness. Let's say
Mhm.
your children are far away from you, and you would love to see your children.
Mhm.
That and the thing that happens is called depression. At certain times, you done went shopping, you done got your children some great Christmas gifts, and guess
Mhm.
what? They are nowhere where you can really sit down and be with your kids. So that causes you to go into a deep
Mhm.
depression. And that's what happened to a lot of people. They done did everything possible they could do. They decide to separate
Yes.
themselves from other folks, and then that causes them to go into a deep, deep
Mhm.
depression where
Absolutely.
nobody can be. You don't want nobody around them. Where you go into a melancholy move, and you say, "Don't nobody understand." You start having pity parties, and so you
Mhm.
decided that you want to walk away. You want to go by yourself because you figured that I'm all alone in
Yes.
this great big world. Here's the
Absolutely.
confusing part for me, Miss Hinton, is this: out of 365 days in the year, only one day get depressed. Only one day out of the year, that's Christmas time, you get depressed. But what about the rest of the 361 days? Why not allow that same depression take over you?
Well, because sometimes, the holidays is about fun and family and friends and gatherings. People want to have parties and things like that. And so if you're isolated or things have changed, because sometimes, your kids grow up, they are in different places. all over the world or in different states. And so, where you were used to them being there, during the holidays when, everybody is with family and stuff, you feel some kind of way. You feel really bad because it's like, I can't get to them. I need to get to them, or, they don't come home as much.
That's right.
Or, like I said, somebody has died and you're so used to them being there. The holidays could be a trigger for that loneliness. Sometimes people are okay, but then, like I said, when the gatherings and things take place and people are not there, people tend to get lonely. Also, when people can't get what they want, it's like they start feeling a certain kind of way. Sometimes the depression brings on lonely. It's like, everybody else can get what they want. Why can't I? Nobody cares about me. You begin to isolate yourself because, you got problems and nobody seems to care. So people, during the holidays, they really can get into a slump. They can get in a cycle of defeat because they have put a lot of pressure on themselves, or they feel as though nobody's around for them and they can't connect to others.
And that's a great answer, Miss Hinton, because you said something that was so key. The loneliness. Here's the thing that happened to a lot of mothers and fathers and single mothers with children.
Mm-hmm.
The children all grown up, and
yes,
mentally they go back and think about how they would wake up in the morning during the Yuletime season, during the Christmas holiday, and the children would come running down with they slippers on, their pajamas on, but they're no longer young anymore.
Yeah.
So now mama and daddy has to spend Christmas because now the son and the daughter is spending Christmas with their family. And when you want them to be a part of the tradition that we grew up to be, and that you're supposed to be right here with us. When you wake up in the morning, you're supposed to open up your gifts, and and then but now they have a family, and it causes you to go into a state of depression because, one, they're not in your house this year. They're not. They're handling Christmas at their house, and and can you imagine that? You got presents underneath the Christmas tree. You don't hear the little teeny footsteps upstairs. You don't hear Billy and Bobby wrestling like they normally do. You don't hear nobody running downstairs stealing pieces of candy and talking about they got a stomach ache. You don't find yourself reading a bedtime story anymore. You just wake up in the morning, nobody in the house but you and the babies. So that causes you to have a flashback. And you to go into that lonely stage.
You can go into it if you're sick. If a person is sick, they're in the hospital, they can be lonely. Or in nursing homes, they can be lonely. There's so many reasons why people, feel that way and they get that way. Routine. When your routine change, when you are no longer productive sometimes, and when you are no longer on a job and you're no longer interacting with people, there's that reason we get lonely. And so it's just so many reasons, especially during the holidays. Like I said, when most people connect, most people have family around, most people are in the Yuletide gate. So many wonderful things are happening, and so many things are going on around us. Sometimes people are lonely because they don't have a significant other. They don't have someone to care for them and caress them and love them. Sometimes they just, have broken up with someone, or, somebody, has just said, look, this is no longer going to work. They did it at the wrong time. Or you can't find someone. You can't find someone that can, really, really be there for you. And people really get that loneliness.
And that's true, Miss Hinton. And you can be in the house with your significant others, or you can be in the house with your husband and your wife, one upstairs, one downstairs, one in the bedroom, and one in the back room, and still have that moment of being lonely. Because, one, we done got used to each other. We done got used to their ways. There is no excitement. You don't come downstairs and and eat Christmas pie, and cupcakes and things of that nature. Because when you go home, you go in your way, and they go in their way, and so the house is quiet. There is nothing to bond and to bring you all together. So this festive season, Miss Hinton, that lonely Christmas and how to deal with being alone during this festive season, we got some information that we want to drop on them.
Absolutely. So look, loneliness during the holiday. Mr. E, do you have some tips for us?
I got some things that I want to drop on them. That tips on us how to deal with on your own this Christmas. Here are 5 tips to avoid loneliness at Christmas and bring joy into your life and to live of others and into the lives of others. The first thing, the festive season can be anything but celebratory for many people, particularly if by chance or circumstances that they spend it alone. Last year, a Red Cross survey found that about 1 in 3 people in Australia had experienced loneliness at Christmas over a previous holiday period. Every person's situation is different, but what do we do if that festive period is typically when family and friends come together? We got some tips, and I want everybody to get a piece of paper and jot down these things that you could do during this Yuletime season, during this loneliness. Volunteer with a
Mhm.
charitable organization. Nothing brings a sense of belonging is connecting more than giving something back to your
Yes.
community. And Christmas really highlights the needs of others around you. National organizations such as the Red Cross, as well as your local church and community groups, work tireless and being comfort and joy over the holiday period, and always welcome help from volunteers at this busy time. So guess what you ought to do? You ought to volunteer at
Mhm.
your charitable organization or groups.
Yes. What are some other things?
Okay, and not only that, you ought to connect with your social network.
Yes.
Reach out to your neighbors and your friends.
Hmm.
Be your own Christmas Santa. Treat yourself.
Yes.
These are some tips that you can do. Tips for
That all those are important.
that's right.
You have to see that there is a need for you. You're important, and so many people need help.
That's
And
right.
so, if you have love, if you're lonely, you feel like you have love to give it to those that are hurting, or give
That's
it
right.
to those that are isolated. Give what you want to someone else, and see if they will reach out to give you that care again, that love. They will return the thanks and the
That's right.
appreciation.
You know,
There are a lot of organizations, Mr. E, that need help, especially during this time of the year when they're feeding and when they're, trying to reach out and give to those in the community. Uh, Join in with people that are trying to help others. Don't sit back and just feel sorry for yourself. If you can get up and get out, and if you really, really want to do something and not just be in a pity party,
yeah,
you can go and you can volunteer. You can also love on yourself as well. You can treat yourself. You can, take yourself out. You can, do the things that always want to do. Get that bucket list and start uh, checking off some things that you've been wanting to do. All the time. You don't, sometimes you don't have to be with somebody to have a good time. You can love on yourself, take your own self to dinner, go to a movie. That's not odd. It's just, hey, you have to be able to survive in this world, and you don't have to be in a state of mind, a state of depression, when you can do something about it.
I think a lot of people feel this way, Miss Hinton. If they keep themselves mobile, keep themselves active,
Mhm,
here's the
mhm.
kicker part. When the day ends, now they got to come up. Well, you be too tired. You be too tired to reminisce on the things of old, especially when you out there volunteer, when you're out there helping somebody. But
Yes.
here's one of the key things that I thought was great, Miss Hinton. Reach out to a neighbor or friend. You
Mm-hmm.
know, just as the time of the year may trigger feelings of isolating in yourself, be mindful that many others living on their own are likely on the same page. Reach
Yeah.
out for somebody, reach out to your
Mm-hmm.
neighbor, your friend. Here's the thing that I like. That I do constantly. I make sure I know everybody in my neighborhood. I make sure that I'm friends with them. The other day I went by telling my neighbors, thank you for being great neighbors. Just
Mm-hmm.
saw them and introduced myself because we got new neighbors came in our community. So I went around and introduced myself and said, listen, I want to thank you so much for keeping our neighborhood safe, for being on the same
That's
track.
good.
I begin to introduce myself so I'll know who our neighbor is. I know they probably said behind their back, he's just old nosy. He's just old nosy Hagatha, Mister. He just come by just trying to see what's going on. Yes, I'm really trying to be your friend and be your neighbor and to be your pal to make sure that we are on the same page since we got to live together,
Mm-hmm.
and see, a lot of folks may not never understand, but men who have been in the military, knowing that when you're away from home, your roommate, your buddy, your pal is right there with you. When you get in the foxhole with somebody, you got to remember we in this together.
Yes.
We may not be home, we may not be where we are, but we can sit here and we can dialogue together. We can sit here and enjoy listening to some good music, eating some marshmallows, because there's going to be a day that we're going to get there. So here's what you got to do: reach out to your neighbors or your friends.
Absolutely. You can also, embrace the feeling. Oh my goodness, I am really lonely. I'm lonely. And then find ways of connecting. Thank God for the internet now and for the Zooms and for the StreamYards and the Facebooks and the FaceTime where you can get to see your loved ones if you can't get to see them in real time. Sometimes your loved ones are overseas. They're lonely and they need to reach out to you. We have ways now of connecting. We sit right here and communicate and just talk to our friends, and we can talk to them about what we have in common or what we like or what we can do or what we're going to do. Make sure you connect. This
That's
is what
right.
social media is for. It's being able to get with family and friends. You don't have to be without your loved one. Just look, get on your phone, get on your laptop, your big computer, or whatever, and call them up. And
That's
I'm
right.
telling you, it's going to be one of the best things for you. Also, make sure you don't, make sure you lower the stakes. Don't make Christmas like, oh, I gotta buy so much. I don't have the money, but they're expecting me to have this, and my family's always expecting me. Look, some of that stuff you're gonna have to do. Like sometimes you can say, listen, all you adults buy your own stuff. I'm
That's
just
right.
buying the kids. I'm buying stuff for the kids in the family. I'm not buying all the adults, y'all. I don't have it like that. I can go just like Mr. E said. I'm going to buy, a lot of things for so many of my grands, because there's so many of them, and it's like, hey, I'm gonna do this. Some of y'all grown folk don't need all this Christmas stuff and all these Christmas gifts, and so lower the stakes. Don't try to overdo it. If you don't have it to do, or either just balance anyway.
That's
Just
right.
balance it anyway. Christmas is one day, just like you said. One day. Don't go overboard. Go in debt and go crazy over one day, y'all. That's how people get in trouble. And not only that, plan. The holiday is coming. It's that what it yields. It yields the festivals and the festivities and the good times, and people are happy and they're giving. It's a spirit. And you get into the spirit of Christmas. Get into the giving of Christmas. Get into sharing and communicating, and don't isolate yourself. Go visit
Yeah,
that loved one in the hospital. Go visit that loved one in the nursing home, that lonely person in the nursing home nobody go and see. Go do something for someone else.
that's right. That's right, Miss Hinton. Do something for someone else, and look, it'll help you to balance your thing. You know, Miss Hinton, there's 12 easy ways to ease the pain of loneliness. And one of the things is to acknowledge your feelings.
Yes.
Make the acknowledgement first. Acknowledge how you feeling. And first of all, it is important to acknowledge what you are feeling.
Yes.
Loneliness named emotions can take away their power to hurt us. It is more helpful to stop and accept your feeling. You are feeling lonely than to try to deny or dismiss your feelings. Here's another thing: build a deeper connection.
Hmm.
Build a deeper connection. Sometimes we feel lonely even when we're surrounded by people. This
Yes.
can be a sign. This can be a sign the relationship you have on our surface level relationship. That's deep
Hmm.
right there. You just got a surface level relationship. So you might feel like no one truly knows the real you, or you don't have a deep or meaningful connection with people in your life. Here's another
Yes.
one. Here's where you can take off. Try a new activity. If,
Absolutely.
if you're lonely, try something different.
Hmm.
Give back. Use social media wisely. Focus on you. Join a support group. Adopt an animal. Get you a bird, a dog, or a fish and adopt an animal. Practice self compassion. According
Yes.
to Dr. Neff, a leading research in the fields of self-compassion has three key elements: that's mindful, self-kindness, and sharing humility. Take
Yes.
your time.
Absolutely. Just make sure you keep your sanity and you seek help if you need help. If you are going into a lonely and going into a depression, you should seek help. And if it's something that you can't get out of, if it's not just one day, if it's something that's been going on and it gets worse during the holiday, if the holiday triggers your loneliness, if the holiday triggers your depression, make sure you are going to go and help yourself to
Yeah,
get better. Don't let it get worse and worse every year. It's getting worse and worse till that mind and everything is gone. Make sure you seek help, and also make sure you seek God. The church is a place where you can find refuge, you can find strength and help. You can go to the Word, you can go to God, you can bring up all those wonderful hymnals and songs of God, and just keep them in your spirit. Just let it go over and over in your head till you start feeling better. Praises and worshiping and stuff will bring you out of a slump. Make sure you have something higher than yourself. Don't just depend on your frailties. We are frail. We get weak and we are emotional, but we can go to someone who can listen to us, listen to our problems, and then God can give you remedies and help, and He can lead you to places that you can really find yourself in a better place. And so, we want to just encourage you all during the season to make sure you uh, find the better place, hope. Christmas is about hope. And even after Christmas is Mr. E, people are looking at new beginnings.
Yeah.
So put down on your list some of the things that you want to do for the following year. Some of the things that you've been wanting to do. Some of the things that you've been working on. Pick up some of those projects that you've been doing, or get with someone and share your vision where they have the same vision and you all can come together and create. You've got to get up. You've got to pull yourself up, and you've got to get things in order so you can have a good life. Everybody gets lonely. I remember when I was a single young woman, and during Christmas time, it was a loneliness because everybody seemed to have someone. It seemed like everyone, was either married or dating. But you was just like, hey, I'm not, talking with anybody. I don't have no significant other. I'm in the church, and it's like, whoa, it is a loneliness, but it's a thing where you have to take these tips like we shared, and you've got to pull yourself up from that loneliness. You
That's right,
do.
Miss Hinton. That's right. You got to pull yourself up because I remember the time when I was in the army. Oh, you're away from home and
Yes.
you trying to figure out, hey, what's going on with me? How I really miss my parents. I
Yes.
really miss being at home. I really miss that type of camaraderie of coming together. I noticed, Miss Hinton, because we're giving great tips, but I want our listening audience to know that there's three types of loneliness. Three types of loneliness. And one of the three types, there's external loneliness,
Yes.
there's a social loneliness, and an external a loneliness.
Yes.
That's emotional loneliness, the absence of meaningful relationship. A social emotion loneliness perceived to defect in the quality of social connection, and this existing loneliness, a feeling of fundamental separation from others and the world and the wider world. So there's three types that we really got to pull ourselves together, and we really got to, hey, shake ourselves so that we won't fall into that bag of saying it's a sad, sad Christmas.
Yes.
They sing that song. Why can't I? Why can't I have somebody to spend Christmas with?
Yes.
You can. All you got to do is come out of that and reach out and help somebody as you travel along the way.
We look at so many circumstances when we talk about loneliness. You may be out there, you may be incarcerated, you may be in, a place and you can't get out. You can't be around your friends, your family, you around criminals, you around folk that don't mean you no good. That's a good time to start asking God for strength and help and having that connection, because when nobody's coming to see you or when there's nobody there, you're going to have to connect to something
That's
higher
right.
than yourself to pull
That's
you out
good.
the pits of hell. And some people are incarcerated, will be incarcerated for a long time, and I just can't imagine how bad it could be. I've never been in that situation, but I can just say to them, this is a good time to connect with God, because there's a circumstance that you may not be able to get out of.
That's right.
You may be in the pits, but we encourage you all that are in those predicaments in nursing homes and hospitals, in places that you don't want to be. We just encourage you to connect with God and reach out to Him for strength and solace, and just remember what this season is about. It's about caring, is giving, it's about the birth of our Savior. It's about family and joy and peace. Embrace the
Yeah.
fruit of the
Yeah.
Spirit. Embrace those things. A lot of times, Mr. E, we like to concentrate on the material things,
That's right.
materialistic things. Christmas is about this and me getting that. But the things that are very important, like peace of mind and love and joy and happiness, those things don't have a price to it. And there's no law against it. God said you can have as much as that as you wanted. So
That's
we
right.
have to reach out for those things. We've got to work on ourselves and making ourselves better. We've got to see a better future. We've got to realize that it's up to us to find ways of surviving. And
That's right.
so, I just encourage those that are lonely, that trouble don't last always. There are tips and remedies for loneliness, and you can make it. You can definitely make it.
That's right. I want to say good afternoon to Miss Roberta Carter. Thank you so much for tuning in. And thank you so very, very much for tuning in to the most talked about radio show in the whole wide world. That's FYI Radio Show. Thank you so very, very much. I don't know what's going on. Sometimes I'm having technical difficulty with my internet. It speeds up and then it gets slow. It speeds up and then it gets slow. And I'm on a still motion, Miss Hinton. I don't know what it is.
Yes, we don't know, but we're not going to be on very long. We just want to make sure we connect with you all. Make sure you all tune in, because this is FYI Radio Morning Show's time of giving.
Yeah.
And we want to make sure that those that have been supporters, that they're there and we can bless you. We want to be able to say here, you all have been just great about coming to see about what we are saying and doing. And it's just a wonderful feeling to have that support. And we just want to say thank you. We'll be giving things out and sharing things with our audience,
Yeah.
opening up the phone lines, and having a wonderful, wonderful time of giving. Also on our Wednesdays and Fridays, don't forget to come on with our What's Under the Hat. We have Mr. Chris Hinton, who's going to be there. He is the owner of Beard Gods. And we would love for you all to come and be a part of that show. He's going to share about, starting a business,
Yeah.
share about, the things that he has special for those during the holiday season, and, information on how you can better take care of yourselves and take care, groom yourselves, and how you can treat your man to a wonderful gift from Be a God's collection. Also, What's Under the Hat, that's for our men, our women. What's in your closet? Come on, Mr. E said, dig deeper. So
That's
we're going
right.
to talk
That's right.
about, if we don't have our guests, we're going to talk about worrying.
That's right.
Worrying through this. And that's another emotion that can take us under. And we're going to talk about ways of conquering worry, and talk about things that we worry about. We worry a whole bunch, I'm telling you, and things that we can put on the back burner or push aside. We're going to learn how to do those and live in the real time, live in the right now. Don't you know people are sitting around, Mr. E, and everything is going fine, but guess what? The mind will travel to a place and say, you know what, worry about this, worry about that, worry about, wait a minute, in real time, I'm doing just fine. Why is this thing up here waking me up and making me, consume me with worry?
That's right.
Consume me every time you turn around, it's worried about this, worried about the kids, worried about that, worried about that. I'm worried about work. We're going to talk about that on our Fun Friday. And also we're going to be giving out some great things. We want you to tune in. But look, today was a marvelous, marvelous day because we had sports talk.
That's
and
right.
we want to congratulate them. We want to congratulate them boys. So them boys showed up and showed out on yesterday. Philadelphia. And Philadelphia, I'm sorry, I don't know what happened. You all were on the roll, but I tell you, Cowboys came through. And Mr. E, tell us about that, our sports talk segment today.
Miss Hinton, I just want to say congratulations to the most talked about football team in the whole wide world. Those Cowboys, them boys, good old boys. I just want to tell everybody I am so elated because of what them boys are doing. You know, there's a lot of chatter going around. Miss Hinton said the boys can't beat nobody. The boys
Oh,
fall under
wow.
pressure. The boys hadn't played nobody in the big league. They always play, smaller teams or teams that cannot play. But I beg the difference, because every football player that's out there, they are professional players. They
Yes.
would have never been in the league if they was not professional. So now Dallas has been playing all the teams. That's 32 teams in the league, Miss Hinton, and Dallas is the 32nd team. They have competition with 31 teams. Out of
Wow.
everybody that's playing football, only the star, you see it, the star is the only one that's catching chatter all over the world. Folks have a tendency of don't liking the star for what they have done and what they stand for. Ms. Hinton, when we begin to talk about sports talk today, there were several teams that played. Starting on at 8 p.m. on Thursday, December the 7th, the New England Patriots. Listen to this, who are a 2-10.
Oh, my Lord.
2-10. They beat the Pittsburgh Steelers, which is a 7-5.
Wow.
Now, when you look at Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and they are 5-7, beat a team called the Atlanta Falcons 6-6, 29-25.
Yes.
When you look at the Detroit Lions, played against the Chicago Bears, that is a 4-8. These are professional players. Then the Chicago Bears came back and beat the team on 9-3, which is the Detroit Lions, 28-13. But
Yes.
here's the problem that I'm having. When you've been in the league as long as the Carolina Panthers, and we are week 14, and it's a
Yes.
one, and they won one out of 12 games, they only won one
That's
game.
sad.
I have a problem with that. They still are professional, and they lost to New Orleans Saints 28-6. But here's
Yes.
the thing that you got to look at, Miss Hinton, and I want everybody to look at this. The New York Jets, they beat a 7-5 team. The New York
Yes.
Jets are 4-8, and they beat a 7-5. These are professional football players. Nobody is saying anything about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the Atlanta Falcons, the Detroit Lions, the Chicago Lions, the Indianapolis Colts, the Cincinnati Bengals, the Jacksonville Jaguars, the Cleveland Browns, the Carolina Panthers, the New Orleans Saints, the Houston Texans, Baltimore Ravens, the Chargers, the Rams, the Minnesota Vikings, the Raiders, the Seahawks, the San Francisco 49ers, Buffalo, Kansas City, Denver, and the Chargers, Philadelphia, Tennessee, Miami. Nobody is saying anything about them. Only one they know how to talk about is them stars. That star, them Dallas Cowboys. That's the only team they know how to talk about. Yes, we came back and beat the Raiders, the Philadelphia Eagles. I'm sorry, Roberta. I'm sorry, but we had to put your boys in a box. So there's a three-way tie in the NFL. That's the San Francisco 49ers. They got a 10-3. That's the Philadelphia Eagles. They have a 10-3. And America's team, them boys, them good old boys, them Dallas Cowboys, they have a 10-3 also. So I want to, before we take off, I want to leave you with a great big old song. Can I sing for the listening audience?
Help yourself.
Mama, let your baby grow up and be cowboys. I just give y'all a little bit of that because that's right. Them boys, them good old boys is on a roll. So I want to give you a cowboy howl. Miss Hinton, do you know how to do a cowboy howl?
You go ahead. I like it. Go ahead.
Here's a cowboy howl, and I want all the cowboys to holler. So guess what? When you're out and about and you're around your friends, just do the cowboy howl.
Well, I tell you what. Congratulations. Congratulations. You went out. I don't know why, But congratulations to them boys, the
Yeah, boy.
Cowboys. They're definitely playing some ball. You may not want to believe it, but it's right before your very eyes. They're going to be playing who next, Mr. Eden?
They be playing the Buffalo Bills next.
All right,
Now,
cool.
they are great teams. So, just in case you want to know the standards of the Buffalo Bills, well, the Buffalo Bills, they beat the Kansas City Chiefs the other night.
Yes,
The Kansas City Chiefs is an 8-4, and the Buffalo Bills is a 6-6. So we play the Buffalo Bills next, and they're a good team.
absolutely.
And then after the Buffalo Bills, we play Miami, which Miami plays against the Tennessee Titans, and Miami is a 9-3. And then our final ride, we go back and beat them scrubs again, them what they call them, commandos, or
The Commanders.
they call them commanders or the Redskins, or they don't know who they are. They just out there
Yes.
playing
Well,
professional.
anyway, yes. Well, I tell you what, congratulations again. But Mr. E, there's a game this evening.
That's right. There's a 2 games. That's a double hitter tonight.
Mm-hmm.
There's a double hitter tonight. The Miami Dolphins will be playing the Tennessee Titans, and also the Green Bay Packers
Yes.
will be playing the New York Giants.
Absolutely. So you all get a chance to look at that. I mentioned our shows. So Sports Talk is our Monday show. We would love for you all to join us as we, talk about the teams, what's going on, who's going home, who's staying in. One thing we know that the Cowboys is in it, and they really want to win it. And
That's
so
right.
we're going to be watching them. Still, the Philadelphia Eagles are toe to toe with the Cowboys and all the other teams. We've just had a wonderful time with our Sports Talk segment. We'll be bringing you all some great information and covering as much as we can with the NFL, also with the NBA. That's on and popping, and we'll be sharing some of those games and our input with those as well. So we want to thank you all for coming on with us on this evening. You all are definitely a blessing. Don't forget our sponsors, Beard Gods, Royal Ladies, Bullvik. Check out the websites, go there. And don't forget to, prepare yourselves for this wonderful holiday. Be careful, Lil. We got some tips for you all.
That's right.
Some
That's
holiday
right.
tips, food tips, traveling tips, all kind of safety tips, online tips. You got a lot of fraud and got a lot of crooks online lurking and trying to do a number. We're going to be sharing those tips to help you all to stay above, to rise above, and to make sure you stay from those that are preying on individuals. So, Ms. E, tell folk how they can be a special guest sponsor or intern with FYI.
If you'd like to be a special guest or sponsor on the most talked about radio show in the whole wide world, all you have to do is pick up the telephone and give us a call at 757-714-7861. Or you can go to Facebook and go to Edward Everett's Facebook page, Miss Yolanda, the Lady Hinton's Facebook page, or FYI Facebook page. Or you can email us at FYIRadioShowLive@gmail.com. Again, that's FYIRadioShowLive@gmail.com. Don't forget to join us from 9:30 to 10 on WPCE 1400, WGPL 1350, Peace 95.3, Joy 88.9, WMVA, and on all social media platforms. Looking to see you to be a part of FYI.
You all are a blessing. Thank you so much for joining us. Don't forget, if you're in the chat, make sure you say hello to us and make sure you join us on Wednesday. Mr. Chris Hinton is going to be there from Beard Gods. Check out his website, www.beardgods.com, and just join us so we can continue to celebrate this Yuletide season and our time of giving. You all be safe. Don't forget to look at the game, and we'll see you on Wednesday. Have a good evening.
2 up, 2 down.